Well, good morning, humanity. It's May 1st, yahoo! And it's
Wow.
the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
Good morning. This is Bev.
And we're together!
Well, here we are. There's not a screen split.
No
It's
screen
the real
split,
thing.
the real thing. Really, you can pinch her and she goes ouch. So we're going to have a great little show today. We're going to talk about, oh my, licensed energy practitioners?
Oh my,
Oh
indeed.
my, oh my. But I think first we wanted to sort of thank our speaker Neil for our great workshop we
Yes,
had on-
yes. It was, as usual, I learned a lot.
Yeah, chronic inflammation. If you haven't seen it, there's numerous. It's on our Facebook page. It's on our website. And the big takeaway for us was how effective BioTouch can be to reduce that stress,
Oh, yeah.
which is a huge cause of chronic inflammation.
Yes.
And our research showed by just those two sets of points, really called the metabolism and the headset, you can change cortisol levels and interleukin 12 levels.
You can,
Yeah, both that can help with chronic inflammation. So
definitely.
that was fun. It was good
It
information.
was,
A lot of
yeah.
people liked it, and there's a lot of shorts from his website too. So
Yeah.
check him out and check out our website. If you have any questions, let us know. Or we can get you hooked up with Neil too. He's
Yeah.
doing some good work.
Oh, yeah, he is, definitely.
So we wanted to talk today about this great video I came across on Friday. And we've posted it. The Energy Healing Conference did an interview with a Dr. Melinda Connors. She's used to work here at the University of Arizona. I actually met her. I was on the same stage as her
Yeah.
20-something years ago for
Oof.
the Energy Conference. And she worked with Gary Schwartz, who of course we worked with. And she has created what is called the National Certification Center of Energy Practitioners.
Wow.
And the post is there to check her out. If you want to hear the details, listen to the video of her. But we wanted to go over this for two reasons. One is I predicted this 35 years ago.
You did. You've been saying it for a long time.
Which-
Doggone you. It's going.
And it has some good and positive points to it, and
Mhm.
it has some things that just scare the hell out of me.
I know.
Yeah.
It's true. Which is par for the course here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got that polarity going all the time.
Because when you start regulating, as it says in the video, touch, we got a problem.
We got a problem.
We got a problem.
Houston.
Because what we're doing is we're taking touch away from the people. You know, and people, I don't know how many times in classes we've had people say, well, don't you have to have a license to touch? And I've always said, the day we have to license to touch is the day we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But it's a different factor when you're starting to talk about professionals out there in the field who are making claims and making recommendations and diagnosing and telling you we can do this and we can do that.
Right.
So it seems like that's where they're wanting to regulate now energy workers. And this is a national certification program.
Wow. It's kind of, yeah, as you say, I think it was inevitable. We've seen the signs for a while. But, you know, I come back to the fact that, you know, all these things are coming out of us at this time. And, of course, much of it is personality based. BioTouch offers just the opposite of everything that they're trying to do. However, you've always made sure that we fall into the boundaries of legalities and
Sure.
protection and things like that. But my whole takeaway from that was, first of all, let's just say that part of that energy being able to be effective, and we use that word a lot in BioTouch, but according to this, and you're going to regulate it by machines, that if you are, depending on how spiritual you are, it's going to depend on how effective you are in the healing. So here's my thing, and I'll just say this outright. Spirituality, first of all, spirituality and all of that, I'm not so sure that it's a good marriage at this time until you have an understanding of certain foundational aspects. But I'm here to tell you, every single one of us, if you're on this planet, you're already spiritual. Right. This is it. This is the path. So how are you going to determine in a scientific type of thing what your level of spirituality is? That's my big thing.
So that's one of the ways that they want to have a test with. They also, if you listen to the video, there are like 2 or 3 machines that are going to measure the amount of energy that's permeating off your finger, how much pH is changed in the person you're touching. And so there'll be levels of abilities too. And obviously, if you don't have any of these levels, they're not going to let you get licensed, I'm assuming, down the road.
Well, yeah.
Which to me is very scary, because what happens is you start regulating this thing to protect the consumer and to protect the practitioner against other practitioners. The minute you try to do that, you create fear in the common folks, in humanity. Yeah. And what was it I said? How do we allow us to live by personal ethics? How do we build an awareness of personal ethics instead of external regulations? And that's always been the goal of sharing BioTouch.
Right. Absolutely right. I mean, it starts at the foundational level for us. And when I say foundational, I mean the International Foundation of Biomagnetics, whose job it is to teach this technique. And where do we want to start? We want to start at the grassroots. Yes. We've always said it needs to be in the families. So many things start to happen when the families come into it. It brings them together. It reminds all of the members of that family that they're equal. They're all capable. They're all here to share in an arena of growing and self-awareness. I mean, it just goes on and on. So it absolutely creates a whole group consciousness. That's what BioTouch is here to do, because it forces us to work together.
Right. And I think part of what I'm understanding, when you regulate externally, you miss the problem we were talking about, which is we are the problem.
We are the problem.
Me, Bev, you, these people making the regulations. And if we just create a bunch of external regulations, we don't get to the core problem.
We're just stirring in the muck.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, the goal of the foundation, self-awareness, to present something to someone that has no levels, everyone's effective, and it encourages people's growth and self-awareness. Wake up to what you're doing and how you're relating to people, and that we're all in the same boat together.
That's it.
So, we are really going to push really hard to get this out quickly to people. I'm telling you, it's like the bell is ringing now, folks. You have to learn BioTouch. You have to take it to your homes.
Yeah, because let's face it, when BioTouch fits, and we've said this many times, and personally, what I do know is we have to regulate. If we regulate anything, it's the rhythm of our daily living.
Right.
What does that look like? BioTouch for me, meets that demand. It can go into the individual's life and spread that into its sphere of influence to the family, co-workers, friends, whatever that network is. But it has the power to change. And this is what we have to be willing to do. We have to all be willing to change at the root level where we find ourselves right now. When we look and go, oh my gosh, look at this darkness and the pain and the suffering. We have created it. BioTouch starts at the very foundation of where change happens in ourselves, through that self-awareness. And then what? It ripples out into the group that we belong to. Well, the group that we all belong to is ourselves. It's called humanity. We're the problem. And BioTouch is here to help us to remember that.
So if you're interested, if you are an energy practitioner, and that's another word we don't really try to use. We've never had. We've stayed away from it. It's different areas on our website because that's the only thing they need to know how to call it. They've always put
Exactly.
us into the energy field or the biofield therapies.
Right. They don't know what to do with us.
No, they never did. So
Right.
because we're so simple and we touch lightly on the skin.
Yes.
So what they're trying to do too, also in these different the video and on the website, is the whole regulation of touch. And so they're saying over and over and over that mostly what's going to happen is like you have to have a license to touch, and it can't be these universal life things where you spend the $5. You got to have a church behind you.
Right.
But when people ask me that about touching, it's like, no, you can do touch at home. You can do touch. You can do massage at home. It's not. It used to be a time back in the '60s we were all massaging, smoking a joint and massaging.
Dear gosh.
But then you had to regulate it because people misused it. I knew when that guy up in Sedona had a bunch of people die in the sweat lodge that we were into the regulations.
That was
So it's gonna happen. If you are a massage therapist or an energy practitioner, you really should take the opportunity to see what's ahead for you. And it shows us another reason why, besides teaching the families to get it at that core level, why we're trying to teach nurses and doulas and massage therapists. They have the legal right to do energy work, and it's being part of their program.
Yes.
So to teach them so that they can do it on a professional level, and then give them the tools that they can go on and teach their clients how to do it at home and complement the massage or complement the nurse practitioner's work or things like that.
Yeah.
So we're set for it. Might not be happy with it. It boils up my blood.
I know. But you know what? We have a lot of self-awareness just being involved with this foundation and being able to see a bigger picture.
Right.
And that's what we all need to do. We all need to realize that, and it's being spoken on in so many different arenas, whether it's medical, scientific, political, whatever. We're all sensing at this time something's shifting. Big things are shifting. And what happens in those times of tension, a crisis, whatever you want to call it, which is always a realm of opportunity, isn't it? We're going to still have those things that are going to keep pouring out for a while, because we have to look at where our problems are that we have ourselves created, as we said. So, it can, there's, as Paul said in the beginning, there's some things that might be in place to help protect certain people. But, I said to him before the show, well, we have a big sign. The reason that we don't ask for a fee and only a donation is, and Paul said it many times, how can you charge for the truth? Well, I'm going to say the same thing in what we're talking about. It is innate in every single one of us to be energy healers, whatever you want to call it. We all have the stuff to be able to do that. How can you regulate that?
Right, and that's what we have to be aware of too, because here's a list of the things they're regulating. Shamanism, Tai Chi, Reiki, somatic energy work, laying on of hands, dowsing, and radiology. So if you're using a pendulum...
Wow, you better be careful. Better hide that little booger.
Right. So, it's just scary, because what'll happen is you regulate it. Again, we want to remind us, you're going to be afraid to do it in your own home. You're going to be afraid that somebody's going to be knocking on your door, or the neighbor's going to turn you in. But something? That's not possible. You have the power, and BioTouch is here to remind us we have the power, we have the opportunity to help one another. If you learn it, you can apply it with your own care. You can talk about it with your doctor. You can talk about it pre and post-op. Chronic inflammation we talked about. Next week we're going to talk about, in the next workshop, EMF pollution, and how can BioTouch help with that.
Right.
And all these things that we're teaching you can do immediately at home with your friends, your family, and your loved ones. You don't have to create a business to do it. If you want, then you better look into the regulations because you're going to be regulated.
Yeah.
But we have everything in place here by the regulator. I mean, we've got our business license. We're a nonprofit tax-exempt organization. We've had the fire inspection. We've had all those things. We have our liability insurance.
We're good little boys and girls
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
you know, and we do a intake and we do a release form and all those kinds of things. But our main goal, really, if we had to stop touching, doesn't mean we have to stop teaching.
Oh yeah. No, that's
the key.
That's what that's what we do. And by the way, when you come down to it, because I always remember what you say about that one doctor. Well, when you come down to it and start talking about love, well, you know, everything else pales in that. And that's what in us sharing BioTouch and teaching BioTouch, that's a big part of it. That's the foundation of all. Love, caring for one another. And, you know, I'm wondering about Dr. Stevenson and her research on that kangaroo touch.
Right. That
innate touch that comes from the most incredible love called the maternal nourishing touch for a mother for her child.
Yes.
How can you, yeah.
And that can't be regulated,
No.
folks. That cannot be regulated. So please don't worry. Be aware, but don't worry. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Be aware, but don't worry. So we have ways to learn. Go to our website, justtouch.com. Go to our Facebook page, and there's all kinds of workshops in there. Our YouTube page, our Instagram page, our TikTok page. We're everywhere. It's time to do a massive blitz to get BioTouch out there, even if all you do is learn the greeting. Okay? And so here it is here.
The greeting is always performed at the beginning of each session. It's the only set that uses one hand and the only set that indicates which hand to use. The greeting is performed with the dominant hand. If you are right-handed, use your right hand. If you are left-handed, use your left hand. The greeting is made by touching at point 1, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone or sternum. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. Then, with the same 2 fingers, touch point 2 on the back. To find point 2, look for the big bone at the base of the neck. From here, move 1 to 1.5 inches to the left. This is point 2. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. More than one associate may work.
Oh, wait a minute. That's a little family,
That's
isn't it?
the little family. And you saw that little boy come in to touch daddy and work with mom on daddy. That you cannot regulate.
You cannot. That was love right there.
Yes.
Every time I see that, I'm just like, oh, okay.
So please contact us. Share this with your family and friends immediately. You know, there's a crisis in the workings. You know, we need healing work.
We are in a crisis
right now.
aren't we?
Yes. So the medical system is going through transformation. The alternative complementary therapies, integrative therapies, and it's all just being mishmash. I mean, are we really changing anything? BioTouch is. BioTouch gets to the root of the ability to take responsibility for your health care and to help your family and friends.
That's the only place change is really going to happen.
Yes.
And that's been scientifically and medically proven. Okay? We won't name drop anymore, but you have to get to the root cause of all things, not cover them up.
Right. So please join us. Have your friends and family go to justtouch.com, download the manual, download the video, become a member, help support the organization. There's numerous ways, uncountable ways to help yourself and your family.
Oh,
and friends.
definitely. And we're here
Yes.
to help that.
That's our job. We're just here to help.
Yep.
We don't claim anything. We don't make recommendations. We don't diagnose. You know better what you need than we could ever figure out.
Right on.
So,
Yeah.
keep on touching, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
And
my pleasure.
we'll see you all next week for sure, if I can find the closing song. There
Okay.
it is by Horace Barnes. And it's all about touching one another.
I know. Wow.
See you all.
Bye.
I can feel the pain in sunshine or rain. So it's not caused by the weather, but it doesn't hurt that much after I feel your loving touch and we spend some time together. You take my pain away each and every day. You're an angel from heaven on high. Your butterfly touch helps me heal so much, and I get better as time goes by. You take my pain